Hey everyone, we're going to quickly define the three most important vocab words on rates and ratios. So the first thing we have is a ratio, which is a comparison between two or more quantities. And a quantity just means something that you can count. So for example, these stars and circles over here. We can count those so we can compare them with a ratio. So as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 circles. So if we were to write the ratio of stars to circles, that's going to be 5 stars to 3 circles. And if we write the ratio of circles to stars, they've changed the order, so our numbers have to change order. So that's going to be 3 circles to 5 stars. And then finally, for the last one, they make it a little bit different. They say the ratio of the stars to all the shapes. So if we look at all the shapes over here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be a ratio of 5 to 8 because there's 5 stars out of 8 total shapes. And this is called a part to whole ratio because we counted the 5 stars that are part of this group of shapes, and it's 8 shapes in the whole group. So that's why it's called part to whole. So then moving on to a rate. A rate is just like a ratio, a comparison between two or more quantities, but it helps us figure out like the pattern at which something's going to go at. So a rate is, a rate shows us the value of one item or of one quantity in terms of another quantity. Remember, quantity is just something that you can count. So for example, we have Nick can clean 42 rooms in 6 days. We're showing the value of the rooms in terms of the 6 days. How many rooms in how many days? How many days and how many rooms? It's a rate. So our rate we are going to write as a fraction. Zoom in. So rate is 40, I'm going to use a different color, 42 rooms in 6 days. And we can actually simplify this to get a unit rate. So 42 divided by 6 is going to give us 7 rooms in 1 day. So this is a unit rate. And then we can use that to help us figure out how many rooms can Nick clean in 18 days. So you can set up equivalent fractions to help you with that. 42 rooms in 6 days will be how many rooms in 18 days? So we see 6 times 3 will make 18, so we can then multiply 42 by 3. See, 40 times 3 would be 120, 2 times 3 is 6, so this is going to end up being 126 rooms. And then the other example that we have here for a rate is miles per hour. So we have Ceci can drive 225 miles in 3 hours. We write that as a rate. 225 miles in 3 hours. We can simplify this to get a unit rate. So 225 divided by 3 ends up being 75, and this is miles per hour is her speed. So how many hours does it take her to drive 1,125 miles? Well, we know 75 miles will be 1 hour. And we want to get up to 1,125 miles. So we want to figure out what to multiply 75 by to get 1,125. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we can divide by 75 to get that number. So 1,125 divided by 75 is 15. So that means that Ceci traveled 15 hours to drive 1,125 miles. Finally, our last definition, our last vocab word is unit rate. A unit rate is a rate in which one of the quantities is equal to 1. So for example, it says bananas cost $3 for 5, and we want to find out the cost per banana. So for one banana, that would be the unit rate. So we're going to take $3 per 5 bananas. I wrote it as a rate, and now we just have to divide to find that unit rate. So 3 divided by 5 ends up being 60 cents per banana, which is actually kind of expensive in my opinion. So the cost is 60 cents per banana. There's another way you can solve this. Some people prefer using equivalent fractions. So $3 for 5 bananas equals how many dollars for 1 banana? So we see, okay, we need to divide 5 by 5. We need to divide $3 by 5. And then from there, some people like to think about how, oh, this looks like 300 cents. So 300 divided by 5 would be 60 cents. So 60 cents per banana. Then from there, buying 12 bananas, if we do 12 times the 60 cents, that will give us the cost of the 12 bananas, because you've got 12 bananas, each one is 60 cents, so 60 cents is 60 cents, 60 cents, 60 cents, 60 cents. 12 times, and that ends up being $7.20. And then for 28 of them, that ends up being $16.80. And those are our vocab words for this unit.